Oh my goodness. Dear stranger, God said, hold on. It's almost over. Don't give up because if there's still life, that means there's still hope. I really contemplated on sharing such a private part of my life because I don't want everyone in my business like that. And I felt like it was TMI. But I remember coming across someone's status where she said, but how will they know that God is real if we don't share our testimonies of how His grace saves us every single day? And I just knew she was talking to me, or rather, God was speaking through her. It's only embarrassing if you are embarrassed. Don't be afraid to be seen trying. So here it goes. My name is Natasha, and I am a South African who has been living in the Netherlands for just over 2 years now. When we decide to move abroad, our first and immediate thoughts are a better life, and for our families back home, she has it better off. But I never anticipated that my life would be even more challenging than it was back home. When I left South Africa, I had recently just bought a new apartment with my partner, and we had just finished furnishing it. I had a permanent job that paid well too and allowed me to save a huge chunk of money. My family and friends were just a drive away, and obviously the amazing South African food and culture. Life was not perfect, but I was content and grateful with the little I had. 2 years into staying in the Netherlands, and I had experienced challenges that had me questioning the abroad dream. From housing struggles and literally struggling to find a place to stay, and having to settle just to have a roof over your head, to the endless payments, some I've never had to pay for in my entire life. Road tax, pollution tax, just to name a few, to losing two jobs and being unemployed twice in a space of 2 years. I won't even go into the other challenges. I found myself questioning God a lot. Why did He bring me here to struggle? I could have just stayed back home. Yes, South Africa has its own challenges that are overwhelming, but honestly, there's no place like home. We move abroad for a better life, but trust me, it's at the expense of your mental health. Because at the end of the day, there is no place like home, no matter how home looks like, and those who know. These are some clips I took at my previous job, one of the most hard labor related jobs I've ever had. If I wasn't on my feet all day, I was either carrying and moving around heavy boxes or doing the housekeeping for our department, which is cleaning or changing the bins of the company. It was the most demanding job I've ever had. But guess what? It was also the job that was a metamorphosis that brought out the best version of myself. That job took me out of my comfort zone. And you know what they say about comfort zones? Nothing great ever comes out of comfort zones. To grow, you need to be uncomfortable. Growth and comfort do not coexist. I realized things about myself and learned so much about others. These lessons have now shaped me into the better version of myself. I gave my best to the job, and that may not have looked the same every day because I am human after all, having a human experience, so it was not always 100% every day, but I showed up despite the challenges and being exhausted. Colossians chapter 3 verse 23 in the New Testament tells us that whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as though you were working for the Lord and not for human masters. That's exactly what I did. I remember I would call my family back home and tell them that I'm doing a man's job and it's taking a toll on my health. Don't get me wrong, I'm strong and versatile, but the job was defeating me. I had to be honest with myself and stop trying to please others at the expense of my entire health. Plus, having a trauma response that made me believe I was only worthy when I'm useful made it hard to admit. When I lost the job, they didn't renew my contract. I was a bit sad because of the connections I had made, but I felt a sense of relief due to the nature of the job and some toxicity that had arose. God had also already given me some signs that my time was up, so it didn't come as a shock. After I lost my job, I thought I would get a job soon because that's just how my life has always been. But I didn't anticipate the humbling season God was about to put me through. I have been unemployed for almost 5 months now. Listen, these 5 months have shook me. Job application rejections that had me questioning my entire worth, struggling to get a job due to language barriers sucked, watching my savings run out and my bank balance reach 10 euros made me lose hope. Trying side hustles that never worked made me feel like I had run out of options. Being shamed and criticized for being unemployed hurt. Having to take on a role that wasn't connected to my career path just for some income felt like I was stripped of my dignity. And having to turn down an opportunity due to distance broke me due to the fact that I was desperate. But even through the depression and questioning God so much, I still persevered. One of my favorite scriptures about struggles is James chapter 1 verse 2 to 4, the NIV version, which says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." The biggest lesson I took from the scripture is that trials produce and strengthen faith, and persevering makes us mature, complete, and makes us lack nothing. Imagine not lacking anything because you persevered during trials and you allowed your faith to be strengthened. I think it's pretty powerful. When I tell you that this season was about strengthening my faith in God, I need you to believe me. 2025 was the year of truth, or is still the year of truth. So much was unveiled, things that were in the dark were revealed, lies, deceit, and falsehood were brought into the open, and the fact that I had gone through a spiritual awakening made things hard for me. I was questioning everything, and unfortunately started questioning even the entire existence of God. It was at this point that I knew I had gone too far. I lost my faith in God and even almost became an atheist. It's my first time sharing this with anyone. 1 week without God was all I needed to realize that I am nothing without Him. I felt my entire identity lingering in the air. I was like a body without a soul, just being tossed by the wind. It reminded me of the scripture in James chapter 1 verse 6 to 7 in the New Testament. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. I realized that my entire existence was of God. My entire existence was orchestrated by the Spirit being, not my body, human experience, or worldly life, even though these are part of the plan for a spirit life. So I came back to God, wiser, stronger, and with more faith. I'm not perfect, never will be, and I don't want to be anyways. I know struggles will still come. I will be disappointed from time to time, and life will have its challenges. But my faith has been strengthened so much that I will never ever question God's existence in my life. Life with God is not immunity to difficulties, but peace in difficulties. This is one of my favorite quotes that keeps me going during times of trials. He is indeed the omnipotent, having unlimited and infinite power, omnipresent, present everywhere at the same time, and omniscient, the all knowing God. You may be asking, what's the point of me sharing all of this? Well, here's why. Number one, I want to encourage you to not be ashamed of doing the not so nice job, because that is the job that will get you to the job of your dream or desires. In everything that you do, work at it as though you were working for the Lord. Number two, don't be afraid to be seen trying. Even if people are not posting their failures, they also have them. Remember what I mentioned in the start. It's only embarrassing if you are embarrassed. Don't be afraid to be seen trying. Number three, don't ever doubt God's plan for your life. You can question Him, but don't doubt Him. He is not a God of chaos, disorder, or confusion. He is not a man that he should lie. Trust the author, not the chapter. Number 4, words are weapons. You decide which side your weapons are facing. And the tongue has power of life and death. You will eat and bear the consequences of your words. Speak life always. Number 5, go from why is this happening to me to what is God trying to teach me. It will change how you feel in a season of trial and testing, because the longer you take to learn the lesson, the longer the lesson will become. Number 6, you are not behind. God is right on time. And number 7, the same God who came through for you the many times when you didn't know how it would work out or where the help would come from is the same God who will do it for you even now. And in closing, I want to say, I don't have my life figured out. I'm far from where I thought I would be at this age. I don't know how things are going to work out, but I'm trusting and having faith in the Lord, because faith is not denial, it's defiance. And you don't need to see the blueprint when you know who the builder is. God bless.